계속 피어나 That's sweet on my life That's sweet on my life That's sweet on my life 네 리듬에 나를 맞춰 That's sweet on my life That's sweet on my life That's sweet on my life 까만 밤에 이렇게 맞춰 Baby 스며 느낌에 이끄는 다른 나와는 춤 맞춰 나도 손이 꿈꾸듯 이끄는 그곳에 That's sweet on my life 나은이 나은을 맞춰 알수록 널 입술이 널 비춰줘 널 비추는 널 Let's dance above 너무 내가 beat 어떤 행복보다 달콤한 너의 숨결에 나 취해본가 When you touch me, ooh, I can feel my life 아주 깊은 내게 계속 피어나 That's sweet on my life That's sweet on my life That's sweet on my life 네 리듬에 나를 맞춰 That's sweet on my life That's sweet on my life That's sweet on my life 까만 밤 위로 춤을 춰 Baby 설마 내게 날 이끄는 채로 나와 난 춤을 춰 나도 손이 꿈꾸듯 이끄는 그곳에 That's sweet on my life Torture over the moon 꿈을 꿔넌 by your move Like do body do like you do body wow 내 입술에 sweet sweet 내게 다가와 This sweet on my life The sweet on my life The sweet on my life The sweet on my life 내 리듬에 나를 맞춰 The sweet on my life The sweet on my life The sweet on my life 까만 밤 위로 춤을 춰 내게로 멈춰 더 휘몰아쳐 밤이 새도록 이대로 나와 난 춤을 춰 어디나 맞춰 벅차게 And then 멈춰 Baby the sweet on my life
Good evening and welcome back to Rhythmgates, where we have been mining adamantine, which is which I'm not sure I have a use for, but I thought we should, well, we should mine some of it. Also, I've observed that we have an unhappy miner, and I think I had a kind of plan to build some temples so that she could pray more, which might make her happier. So maybe we should look at who she is and what she wants to, who she wants to pray to, because she has like.
Sorry,
Maybe we should do something about those bones.
not sitting on my nose.
Yeah, that would help. Because like everyone is admittedly pretty much inured to the enormous pile of bones now, but they do still keep thinking about them, even if they think about them in an entirely neutral fashion. Oh yes, I am doing something about the bones, aren't I? Excellent, I remember that now. She dreams of bringing lasting peace to the world. I'm not sure we can provide that. But she is badly distracted after being unable to pray to the ludicrous number of gods she believes in, or worships, or whatever. So possibly I should kind of actually go up to my... I mean, we have a few temples at the moment. Well, actually, do we only have one? So that... I think... Oh no, I think the Natural Impunity and the Chapel of Treasure are both temples. But, like, I think we may need to do a more comprehensive... like temple quarter with temples to every god that we know of the existence of, or something. That one's so let's have a look at our. So the Natural Impunity has no particular deity. The Chapel of Treasure is dedicated to Ratkas. Temple of Fire is dedicated to Zas the Turquoise, and the Church of Crystals is dedicated to Shedim the Turquoise Shaft of Hearts. other than the Rakas one.
Hey, no crawl player can take the piss out of
Yes.
fortresses' god names.
See why not? Equal opportunity this taken. Yeah, at least I'll call things like Reckless the Gerbil or whatever.
Shed him the turquoise shaft of hearts. Do you think that's a bad name for a god?
It's yes, well, you know, in four you don't have to pronounce these things.
I mean, to be fair, we do appear to have 2 turquoise gods, which is a bit odd.
It seems excessive.
So, yes, I mean, those 2 are not very good temples. I have no idea whether the value of a temple is of any relevance.
Well, that might be a use for some of it for the runtime.
Well, yes, certainly we could, after all, carve it into incredibly valuable statues. Right, so I should dig out, I think, an area that will be our temple complex.
I can't remember. I think so, yes.
So let's assume that temples don't need to be very big. They probably need to be a bit bigger than that, because like they like having a dance floor and such like. It doesn't really matter if this lines up nicely with the... I kind of want it to have double doors, which then means that if it's going to be symmetric, it needs to be an even number of squares wide. That's an odd number of squares wide, Ben. So how many gods, as a reasonable lower bound on the number of gods we need to build temples to, how many gods did that miner worship? Actually, I think I can get this more easily by going to her relationships page. Can't I? Yes. Goodness.
There's a lot of gods.
She worships 10 gods, only one of which I recognise from the list that we've already got temples for. So we probably want about 10 additional temples. Okay.
I can't remember, but it's so good.
It's going to be quite a long corridor if I build it like that, isn't it?
You just think of it as the water.
I think we need, given how large the temple complex is going to be, probably need like some structure here. Though I kind of feel that's the wrong shape. No, I don't like making long rooms vertical because my font's the wrong shape for that. I think thus I should build a corridor northwards from here. That's the wrong button. So that will give me 4 per column, and then I could thus do, and then we've got another one there, so it'd be roughly 4 columns, yeah, 2 columns and a bit more, yeah, that'll do nicely.
We're building a piece of fortress with warp missiles.
With what?
With warp missiles.
Not intentionally. I mean, admittedly, my kind of habit of doing corridors which lead to places rather than just joining all the rooms together is probably not particularly helpful.
I know this is a thing that can be configured, but one of the annoying things with the upgrade 2024 is that's a deep and also in the bins. If you got a long scroll bar now like this, if you pick at a certain point, it goes to that point rather than moving it along by something else. Yes, absolutely right.
Right, so that's room for 9 temples.
Especially if it aren't scroll bars. So what can move it along? I have to find it manually.
There we go. It's kind of not as dense as I might usually do, but I'm kind of, I don't know. I want it to be elegantly arranged, and I don't know what to do. Let's make some doors. Right, if we're going to be an unhappy miner, come and mine some new space to build something more useful in. Denied. Oh look, they're still the Bronze Colossus and the Faded Butcher are still at it. So she's happily mining out. The adamantine. We found some surprise opals down here. But the cluster was conveniently entirely within the corridor. So yes, now we just need to make adequate doors for all of these places. Oh, we've found some lapis lazuli. Well, that's going to be part of the wall of the temple, so that can stay. How's the bone shifting going on? Oh yes. So the doors that were being jammed open by the bones have now all been cleared. So now we can reclaim all of the other bones. And so those lot can also be shifted away to somewhere where people mostly won't see them. Alright, yeah, so that's the square that the bones end up in once they've been moved. Thinking I may as well expand that. So mostly what is now my limiting factor is someone making a door, so that I can. Where's the manager? Do we have a manager? Have we lost our manager? No, we have a manager. It's the mayor, who is currently conducting a meeting. Are you by any chance conducting a meeting with the annoyed miner? Right. Have you now started that job off? Since you were in your office. No. Come on. I suppose I could manually construct a few doors until... Of course, all of this moving of the bones is going to expose lots of people to the bones. But that's fine. Everyone's pretty relaxed about bones these days. Oh, it's a caravan from our parent civilization. We should probably arrange for somewhere to store the booze downstairs that's a little less inconvenient. Why are there all these loose rings? Are we short of bins or something? Still fighting. Also appear to have an extremely grumpy Hmm? Yes, militia captain and mason who is making the doors that we need. I think he should be assigned a craft. I presume engraver doesn't qualify. He has got a craft assigned, but it's clothes making, which we never do. I mean, we're going to need a strand extractor. I can't remember where you extract strands. And there's a slight danger. You have then to be quite careful to avoid people accidentally weaving all of your adamantine into cloth, which is not very helpful. I mean, to be fair, more bone carvers are probably going to be helpful. Yes, you're not going to be a master bone carver initially, but it's not like we have a shortage of bones. Oh, I don't know. Bring us more ludicrously valuable metal. Not to the extent that it's worth actually asking for it. We get enough. I mean, we could sell you prepared meals. We make enough of them. So a strand extractor's job is to convert raw adamantine into adamantine strands, which you can then convert into adamantine wafers, which you can then use for actually making things, because they're effectively a kind of metal bar. May as well smooth all of these, just in case temple value is of some use. Well, why are you getting your rock from up there? This is not a dangerous being interrupted by a bronze colossus. It's merely, I happened to see a bronze colossus through a fortification and it scared me. So I think actually I can now create that, make it a meeting area, assign it to location, new location, temple. So I'm now trying to work out. All right, so we have both cults, or we have both gods and religions in this list. I think. So we probably want to start with I think we probably want mostly, unless I've got some good reason to do otherwise, to build things to, or assign things to gods. Dedicated to, yeah, so those are all dedicated to particular gods rather than particular denominations. So we have ones already to...
The tufted howl. That's clearly a species.
that's our Ranger Guildhall.
Goes with the barn howl.
So we have Rakas and the 2 turquoise gods, and we've now added Eggle Faint matches.
When do you think behaviour change? I have to make that little comment there in a file. I'm not trying it just yet, because I'm going to give it a trial, but it works as well. Just in case I was useful, can you something like that?
Unpause, then we might get some more doors built. I mean, the technique for the Bronze Colossus should be simple. Stop strangling it, just smash its head in. But apparently this is, like, too advanced because, well, Bronze Colossus, not an intelligent creature, really. Okay, our broker is currently asleep. So let us also add Comnith Hoary Seasons, who has 49 worshippers in our fortress. If you say so. How many dwarves are there in the fortress? 104 citizens, 109 creatures, 100 others who are mostly merchants, but a few scholars. So we've got about 120 citizens plus visiting scholars. Oh yes, and quite a few forgotten beasts, whom I temporarily overlooked. Well, you're a human, so you're slightly weird, but not weird enough.
I'm going to go to bed so I can work on my papers tomorrow. My paper tomorrow. Choice of 2.
Now let's go in a straight, right, not in, let's dig a narrow tunnel there. Well, we have someone meditating in one of our new temples. Our outpost liaison is hanging around in the temple as well. Someone has dropped a sock in the doorway. Not actually a sock. 4 earrings, a crossbow, and a pair of trousers. Actually, I mean, to be fair, we don't really have a shortage of earrings in this place.
3 trencher's tires, a half-eaten pork pies, some oil drums, an old fat hat, a lorry load of tar blocks, and a broken bedstead.
Yes, if you say so. The little temple. It's the same size as all the others. True, it is. Going to mine out another layer of adamantine once the poor miner gets down here. Yes, it's true, I could fill it with statues. Actually, as long as I'm reasonably careful, like as long as I actually watch what's going on. What I want is a kind of anti-auto mine. Mine through here as long as you don't find any adamantine. So now I can't go away from watching here because if someone turns up to mine it, I need to be there to spot them. That's safe. That's safe. Problem is, if I do this if I do this by designating a square at a time, they keep wandering off to do other mining jobs. Right. I think half-mined adamantine is safe. There are unpleasant things on the far side of the adamantine. What in the trade we call the happy fun stuff. Or as Pink Piece puts it, clowns.
It's like clowns, a being that does completely ridiculous things for the sheer hell of it. Isn't that a dwarf?
Bread is beeping stoked.
Oh, beeping red.
So the toothbrush is
It's not
brushing.
It does beep when you plug it in. Beep, beep. But once we've confirmed that a tile of adamantine doesn't have an other side, then we can safely mine it. Hence the mining adamantine is a bit like playing Minesweeper.
The power was just for 2020, but it seems to have risen this.
Well, yeah, I don't think that aspect of it would stop working.
Poison us, but you know, it's poison us with what we have.
It's an odd square to mine that from. Once we've got all of this layer marked, we can head back up to see what's going on in the fortress above. Oh, that we've got extra miners coming down here, which probably means that all the mining upstairs is finished. Let us go upstairs and see how many more doors we can install. Two. Well, it could be worse. Trickery of boredom. Well, that's a popular temple, albeit mostly with pigs. Oh yes, our broker has probably turned up, haven't they? Okay, I'm a bit. We don't seem to have very much stuff to sell up here at the moment. Where's it all gone? Well, still, we can sell some of it. We can sell what we've got here. Let's get some nice metal. You bring any iron or steel with you? No. I mean, we're not short of many things now. We have all the food we reasonably want. We have quite a lot of wood because the caverns provide wood. Well, it's cheap. It would be embarrassing if we ran out. Let's get some more turkeys because I think I may be being bad at organising the turkeys. And a bit of booze, but we're not exactly short of that either. Nice steel battle axe. I'm right. Surely we're at the point now where we should only be buying steel things. Actually, haven't we got a master weaponsmith now? So really, we should be buying steel.
Or did they go to an upgrade?
No, I should have asked for that, clearly. Bring all your steel bars and we will turn them into masterwork swords or something. And we could buy some anvils and melt them down.
What was the
Yeah, we've got a lot of bone and amethyst trinkets. Sod it. We're buying every steel anvil you've bought and we're just going to melt them down. Plus cheese. Cheese. Nor is there such a thing as cheese anvils, but some of the most valuable food. I mean, we don't need all this cheese, but it's cheese. Right, that's too much cheese. Bit more cheese. Buy all your books as well, we like your books. We also like your parchment, because we can turn that loon parchment, turn that into stuff, and you're still making far too much profit, so I'm going to have to refuse to sell you some of this stuff. Right, that's better. That's probably even that's fairly generous profit. Let's try that. Yes, not quite ecstatic, but. kind of looks like this spire is widening a bit now as we get deeper.
I must have missed something last week. What is the fun stuff behind the adamantine?
Demons mostly.
And how did you find out?
You dig through it. I haven't done that this game. I did it in an earlier game.
Oh, I see. So you recognise this rock formation as a thing that...
Yes. Yes, but what you find if you dig too deep is kind of a spoiler, so you don't discuss it too openly. Also, you try not to meet it, because it probably actually is worth connecting those two sides up, isn't it?
Complain that totaling your transformer state in the morning is complicated. I told her it was all her fault, but you couldn't see why. Honestly.
Okay, so it's not actually that big a spire at this point.
You such an anagram of sack full of barrel.
Awful black sofa.
Yeah, I've got distracted by the mindless nibbling at adamantine spires now. Oops. No, that's because someone else is coming to do that, is it? Right. I mean, we should be safe for a little while here, but let's have a quick look around upstairs. Where's my cursor gone? There it is. Oh, we've accidentally made a door out of raw adamantine. I should just let me change the settings briefly. Stop making things out of raw adamantine. Unless I actually tell you to. I'll find somewhere good to put the raw adamantine door. Somewhere where everyone will see it. And go, wow, that's an impressive door. Possibly we should encrust it with all the gems first. Where have we got up to? Have we done the trickery of boredom yet? I'm lost. I'm confused now. I'm going to actually have to look this up. L. So, the Temple of Hunger is the trickery of boredom's temple. So... the next one will be a temple to Minbaz the Lost. then we will also install a temple to... We've already got a temple to Zas the Turquoise, and shed him the turquoise shaft of whatever it is, and Rakas. So the next one will be a temple to Dumed.
And the Temple of Doom.
Yes, thank you. Got distracted. My miner's wandered off. Oh well, let's see if we've got any more doors yet that aren't made of something stupid. No. Wonder where we should put the raw adamantine door then. I think they were both worthwhile, but oh, Steph's probably not paying attention to the stream, is she? Right, that priority please. That one, and then that one. How inconvenient. There's a 3-thing wide protuberance there that I bet isn't hollow, but I'm not, like, that confident it's not hollow. we've struck Levin Opal. A very useful well, that was a fairly unproductive layer, wasn't it? Oops, no. We don't even have any interesting scholars here at the moment. Now we do. No, one just arrived. I don't control who turns up. I merely control who gets a residence permit. Actually, let's just dig the same
Good night.
diagonal tunnel that we did before, and then watch closely. We do actually have a fair amount of time to pause when we find something interesting. This is getting complicated. The idea here is that the actual adamantine mining is at a lower priority than clearing things, so that the miners have something to do while they're waiting for me to designate the next square that needs to be exploratorily mined. We've got some more stuff to sell than we have. We should probably send them away with something valuable, shouldn't we? That might be helpful. Yes, they didn't bring any steel. How boring. Yes, have some ludicrously valuable stuff to cheer you up on your way home. Well, that's quite a lot that we know is safe. This layer is making up for the previous layer. This is quite large now. Oh, we've found an edge. We have struck Claro Opal. Well, that's Claro Opal that's actually adjacent to the adamantine, so we can set that auto mining amusingly. No, not that. That. That means that those squares are safe. I want to explore that one. That now means that square is safe, and we want to explore that one. That then means that that square is safe, and we want to explore that one. And that one. That one. It really is, yes. It really is Minesweeper. Only, like, with no numbers. You just have 0 and non-zero, pretty much. Only non-zero can turn out to be 0 after all. You've found the thing you want to take away with you, have you? So you now need to wait for another miner to turn up. Looks like there's a nice quantity there that we can get at least. So, meanwhile, how are things going up on the up in the construct a temple to every god project? Mostly means constructing a door. Well, we've got most of them now. We just did Dumed, didn't we? So now we want Limul the Umber Silver. And Gyrus Sculpture Controls. And Lemma Pine Soaks, the something of something. Why are you so grumpy? Mostly inadequate crafting ability, but also a bunch of praying, some of which we already had places for you to pray to. Yeah, learn bone carving. We've got plenty of bones. Actually, I've just thought of a thing I could do. Maybe. So that's the finished goods stockpile where we accept finished goods for gem encrusting. Let's say, but we only accept reasonably decent finished goods for gem encrusting here. And then maybe we won't accidentally encrust the things made by novices. Right, so that's another layer carved out around this rather wobbly adamantine spire. We did have two staircases, but one of them kept running into the spire. Though actually, we can... There is, like, no reason not to... reconstruct the staircase there, and then we can go Build some of it there. Or probably there. Where are you going with that stone? Are you going to insist on building that staircase from above or something silly? There. We got the last two doors. No, we've only got one of them. Why is no one making bone crafts? Is that simply that yeah, I think it's just that it doesn't get scheduled very often. Maybe I should make it do more in a batch. Looks like all my miners appear to be distracted. Yes, all my miners are in fact distracted. That square has a tile has a nice lot of bones on it now. Still plenty of them left down here though. Right, we will end up with a reasonable quantity of additional doors. I wonder if we could reorganise that area to be a little more efficient. Miners are still busy. Well, who are you praying to then, eh? So you're currently praying in the Temple of Hunger, which is dedicated to the trickery of boredom, which is one of the people you were stressed about not having prayed to recently. So, like, we do seem to have a nice quantity of stressed people in the temples. some of whom may actually be praying. Actually, no, you're... Yes, we will stop fairly soon for tonight. I'll probably finish off the temple complex. You just zoomed somewhere surprising. Oh, it's a gremlin. That's not much of a problem. Once spotted, actually, my experience is gremlins run away anyway. Let's just watch it and make sure it doesn't cause any trouble. If it goes, good. Quite a long way down here. I shall minesweeper out another layer down here. But yes, I'll stop fairly soon. Sure, this won't take very long, especially if I'm reasonably efficient about it. I'm not bothering to mark all the safe adamantine just yet, because that, as long as I've got something marked at priority 4 for the miner to do if I accidentally run out of work for them, it doesn't really matter how much of it there is. Oh, we've made a new door. Excellent. Oops. Don't think, well, we probably do want that to connect up, don't we? generally worth going all the way around this. Well, yes, I should work out what to do with the adamantine in due course. Right. All of that is safe. Meanwhile, we built our last door, so... Okay, we built quite a lot of doors. So we'll dedicate this one to the Bastion of Good, and we still don't actually have enough for the number of gods we have a decent number of worshippers for in the fortress. So we're clearly going to need yet more temples. Who was it again? Ilral blotted busts, which is presumably you. Yes, I think you are not interesting. Right, okay, I think that's enough, mostly constructing of temples for tonight. Under a great deal of stress. We've got an entire temple to Zas the Turquoise. Kind of thinking we may need to start having crafting places just for people to practice their crafts so that they don't get fed up. Which probably want to be separate from the places where we want people to practice their crafts in order to actually make something useful. Well, when I say useful, I mean saleable. So, useful can be good as well. Right, I think that will be enough for tonight. And yes, maybe next time our plan is something like construct a bunch of workshops whose sole purpose is to keep dwarves busy so that they become less stressed. That might help. Right, I think that will be all for tonight, and we will, so that I can try to get up halfway early tomorrow and get a train into London and then cycle home again. So we will see you on Sunday when I will have done that, I suppose. Good night.